Seeing our coworkers, even by Skype, is a reason to smile, and it's great to see WTOL 11 digital content producer Claudia Seibert, who has some creative ways to keep the kids occupied during this stay-at-home order. Good morning, Claudia. I'm happy to see you this morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday. It's Good Friday.
Yeah.
You know, we're ready to go for the weekend, and I love, hearing your voice and being able to kind of keep in contact with some of my coworkers.
We are doing the best we can, right? So as we said, parents are at home with the kids. They're trying to be teachers to them. They're trying to keep them up on their schoolwork. You got some help for us this morning. What do you have for us?
Yeah, so I asked our viewers on Facebook how they've been kind of keeping their kids busy on the creative side of things. You know, it's hard enough to keep them, educated with math and science and English and things like that. But then you got to kind of, get in maybe like art or music when you can. So I've gathered a couple pictures from our viewers. Everyone is so creative in our area. I love it so much. One of the first pictures I found was this one. You see these two kids are outside. They've got their window creation. And I've seen a lot of this going around with the stained glass window things, which I think is super cool, especially now, you've got Easter Sunday coming up. So I just think that is so cool, creative, and it's got to be pretty easy to do. It can't be too hard.
Use some tape, I would imagine. Just get some like painter's tape or something and, paint or mark out spots and then kind of paint in between, right?
Definitely. And the best part of it is, you can let the kids just kind of do it themselves, even if maybe like you as a parent aren't creative. I know I'm not creative. You just let them do their thing.
Let them do it. You've got work to do on the side, right? Let them, entertain themselves.
Exactly. And that's kind of what's happening too in this next picture. You can see these three little cuties. They're outside painting on the sidewalk. It also looks like they could be painting some pots maybe for mom to put some flowers in later. And that's always something cute to have, when your kids make you something homemade, and that makes it just all the more special.
Yeah, and like with the last picture that you showed with the stained glass, I've seen people doing something similar on the sidewalks too with the chalk. So you kind of like laid tape down or whatever and color in the spaces with the chalk. So it's kind of like a similar idea, maybe what those kids were doing, working on the sidewalk and then also doing the pots and stuff. Really cool.
Definitely. I love it. I love it. And then you also have like, the more inside things you want to do if you want to paint. Like we had one viewer send us in this photo, painting a Batman logo, which I just can't like wrap my head around being super, artistic like that. So that's super cool. And then we have someone else who did a toucan, which I think is awesome. And, either if you, traced it or you did it freehand, I just have such respect for these kids, doing things like that. And then this one is really cool. That one viewer sent us in. It's actually made of pine cones and some tree bark. So for the bottom half of like trunk looking part of it is a tree, part of a tree. And then they made the flowers out of pine cones and then put it on a metal sheet. And then they have something that's a really, really cool creation that I never would have thought of. So
really
that's definitely
neat.
New. Yeah, so I think you and Maggie should try that one out.
I think so too, because my husband's at home with her, always trying to find things to keep her interested and occupied. She's 2.5, right? It's almost impossible. And we don't have a ton of art supplies, but we could just maybe go out in the neighborhood and pick out some supplies. Easy enough,
right? Definitely. Or even seeing, around the neighborhood, all the art, the things that are like cool. The sidewalk decorations and things like that. I'm sure she would just love that so much.
Yeah. So what have you been doing to stay busy there, Claudia, at home?
I try not to binge watch Netflix too much. I've been trying to read more, some of the books that I maybe said I didn't have time for. So I have a nice little swing outside. So I just sit on my swing and I read when it's nice out. When we've had great, beginning of the week was great weather. Do that. And what about you, Amanda? What do you do besides hanging around?
It's tough because I am still coming to work and then going home and, picking up mommy-daughter duty, right? But, we have found, I found a puzzle for Maggie. Somebody gave it to her as a gift a while back and she wasn't quite old enough for it yet. And I said, now's the time. I'm cracking out the puzzle. And she's really, she can't really totally put it together yet, but we're having a lot of fun trying to figure it out. And the pictures that come up on it once we do put it all together, she's really excited about. So I think puzzles has been the new favorite thing in the Faye household.
And I hear puzzles are really
they're hard to find.
Off the shelves.
They are. Apparently they're hard to find. So I'm glad I had this one buried back in the closet that I was able to pull out for, I guess, a rainy day, as you could say.
Love that. That's so cool.
Well, Claudia, thanks so much for checking in with us and bringing us some cool stuff that the viewers are doing. It's always great to see other ideas, you know, because we kind of might feel like we're at home, kind of, you know, zeroed in on what we're doing, but it's kind of cool to see some other ideas out there with what other kids and families are doing. So thanks for bringing that for us this morning.
Definitely. And viewers, if you want, you can share Facebook pictures. Just share them on Facebook or text 419-248-1100 because we'd love to see your artwork.
Send them to us. Very good. Claudia, great to see you this morning.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a great weekend.